Good morning, everyone. Buenos días. Hoy es abril 23 del año 2020. Let's practice the date in Spanish. Ready? 23 de abril, año 2020. Muy bien, muchachos. So, I hope you guys had a great day yesterday. Hopefully, you were able to catch up on some of your work. I see a lot of you have been turning in the formatives, or I should say the exit tickets, which is great. Just please don't forget to turn them in on time so that I can give you full credit. If you turn these assignments in late, I can only give you a 70. All right? So try to turn them in on time so that you can get your full credit for them. I've been seeing some great work. Some great questions are coming through the email about how to do the exit tickets and stuff, so that's good. All right? And I'm pretty pleased with the amount of work I'm receiving. I know that a lot of teachers have been talking. We've been talking about how difficult this transition is to remote learning. And trust us, guys, it's pretty difficult for us too. It's definitely not the same not being in the classroom, but we can only do our best and you guys can only do your best. But as long as you're trying, that's all we ask for, okay? So for those of you that are turning the assignments in on time and watching the lessons, please continue to do so. And for those of you that need some catching up to do, we do have next week. So, the lessons, I know the first ones can be a little long, but the other ones, the recent ones are only about 15, 20 minutes, and the work's not too bad. If you're having difficulties, again, just reach out to me, okay? All right, so we did the date. This will tell me that, oh no, it's just the accent. So just like on Tuesday, what we're going to do today is we're going to go over the study guide. Now, as you have seen, the study guide is very short. And the reason for that is because your test tomorrow, your summative, it's going to look very, very similar. It's probably only going to have 5 additional questions. So instead of it being 15 questions, it'll probably be 20. Notice how here on the grammar, as you go through it today, you'll notice that we're only going to do definite articles. So if you see indefinite articles on the test, they follow the same sequence, and I'll show you on the grammar notes as we go through it. So what I would like you to do first is, let's read our objectives actually. Students will be able to review Chapter 1 grammar from the study guide. So that's what we're going to do today. And for your do now, I'm going to hopefully have you guys just pause the video and get ready. It says, have the study guide and grammar notes ready for the lesson. So I would like you to pull the study guide up on a tab, or if you printed it out, you can, with your answers, you can just have it next to you. And the other thing you need is the grammar notes, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the grammar notes and show you how to use these charts if you don't already know how to use them. I did explain them in the videos, but I'm going to go over it again just in case. Doesn't hurt. And once you guys have that ready, we'll continue from there. So go ahead and do that. I'm going to give you a pausing point, get everything ready, and then we'll begin. Go ahead. Okay. Your directions for today. You're going to watch today's lesson on YouTube. You're going to complete the grammar section of the study guide. I did receive some questions about how to complete the grammar section of the study guide or how to complete the study guide. So this assignment, or not assignment, these notes, this one, I know that I didn't give it to you on Google Sheets, so you can't edit the document. So if you want to fill these in like I do here, like that, you're not going to be able to type the answers in. You have to print it out, okay? But because this is such a short study guide, you don't have to necessarily print it out. You can just pull it up next to you and just take out a piece of paper and write the answers next to you. I'm not looking for you guys to turn these in anyways. I will show you the answers as we go through the study guide, okay? And I will leave it here so you can just rewatch the video um, if you want to see the answers, okay? And again, if you're filling these in as we go through it, just do it on the side. I'm going to fill them in here, but you can do them on the side on a piece of paper. After you complete the section of the study guide, or you at least have your answers on the side and you study a little bit, I do have another game for you. I'm saving the best games for last, all right? This is another website. This one has 4 different games that you can play. Notice how the category is the present tense of the verb ser, okay? So we've been talking about this verb. You don't need to know all this stuff. This is all extra, but all you need to know is it's the verb ser, to be, okay? And you have 4 different games you can play. You can figure them out. I don't think you need Flash players, so you just try them out, see if they work, okay? If they don't work for some reason, you can always just scroll down. We did do other things to, you can do, like, for example, you can do the worksheet if you haven't done it already, or you can look at the worksheet. I do have some a Quizlet here from previous lessons, so you can always just go back into the lessons and see what I posted for extra work, okay? But I do want you to play the game about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, all right? Don't spend too much time on it. It's just like a little practice. And then please, super important, study for the summative tomorrow. Tomorrow is your first summative. I'm going to assign it. Let's look at this calendar. I'm going to assign it tomorrow, which is the 24th. And I'm going to give you 24 hours to complete it. 24 hours. If you cannot complete it in 24 hours, you need to reach out to me and let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to think you're fine. So, the study guide has everything you need to know for the test tomorrow. Those 3 things are your vocabulary words, definite and indefinite articles, and the verb to be. All right, let's go through the study guide. It says, and like I mentioned last time, read the directions carefully. Complete with the correct form of el, la, los, and las. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this. And I'm doing this so I can show you guys side by side what's going on. So we have el, la, los, and las. You have 4 different options for the word, pausing point, the. These are all different ways to say the word the, okay? Let's read our first one. You're trying to say in number 7, the hermano de Sally. Hermano. Do you remember what hermano means? Do you happen to remember, or do you know? You should at least know that it's a masculine word. And it's singular. Okay? So the brother of Sally. Now, even if you didn't know this word meant brother, you can still tell that this word gives you the 2 clues that you need to figure this out. When you're looking at definite articles or indefinite, there are 2 things that you need to know. Number 1, I'm going to put it, let's put it down here. Number 1, you need to know the gender, masculine or feminine. So how do you know what gender it is? The subject. Well, they're talking about the brother of Sally. Sally is not going to really tell us too much. It's just a name. So don't rely on names too much. But you can look at the words that end in O or A, because that will tell you what the sentence is, the subject in the sentence. So if you look at this word, notice how this one has an O at the end. Not only does it have an O at the end, which tells you it's masculine, so we're on this side of the chart, it's got to be one of these 2, okay? But it also, if you look at the end of the word, it's singular. They're only talking about one brother or one thing if you didn't know this word was brother. So those are the 2 things that you need to know. The gender, and how many? Singular or plural. So that's where your 4 options come from. Male, female, singular, plural. 4 options. Okay? Hermano, singular, masculine. So I'm going to go to my masculine side of the chart. Out of these two, the one that's singular is él. So now I know that él goes here. El hermano de Sally. Look at number 2. Escuela es bonita. The school is pretty. But again, I can tell you what the sentence is saying. The school is pretty in English because it doesn't matter in English. What you need to figure out is in Spanish, which one of these 4 definite articles, which one of these 4 words, the, are you going to use for the sentence? So take a look at these 3 words. Escuela es bonita. Which one of those words is going to tell you or give you clues as to which one of these 4 you're going to use? Pausing point. Good. If you thought it was bonita, you're correct. If you thought it was escuela, you were also correct because both of them, they keep it consistent. The sentence is going to be consistent. So notice how both of them end in A, which tells you it's what? Masculine or feminine? Feminine. Very good. And also, are they talking about one school or many schools? One school. How many things are pretty? Well, it's got to be consistent, so just one, right? So, did we answer both questions? Is it a masculine or feminine sentence? Or is the subject masculine or feminine? It's feminine. Both of these words, escuela and bonita, tell us that the sentence is feminine. What's being spoken in the sentence, the subject, school, is feminine. And how many? It's just one school. So, look at our chart. We're going to go to our feminine side. We have la and las, and we know that it's singular, so it's got to be this one, okay? La. La escuela es bonita. The school is pretty. It's all about consistency in Spanish. Take a look at the third sentence. I want you to see if you can do this one by yourself. Abuelas son simpáticas. The grandmothers are nice or kind. Pausing point. Look at the chart. Tell me which one of the 4 are you going to use for this one? Go. The answer should be less. Let's see the 2 questions that we asked ourselves. Gender, is it masculine or feminine? If you look at abuelas and simpáticas, the ending of these words, both of them, the endings are feminine and they're plural because it ends in S. And it's going to be consistent in the sentence. So feminine and plural. So feminine, it's either la or las, and plural is las. That's why that's the answer. Look at the last one. You have muchachos son graciosos. The boys are funny. So again, pausing point. See if you can figure this one out on your own. This one's going to be los. And again, the reason why this one's los is because you have muchachos graciosos. The endings are masculine and they're plural. Those are the 2 questions you need to ask yourself. What's the gender? How many? Now, notice how we are not going to go over indefinite articles. Indefinite articles follow the same procedure. All you have to do is make sure that you read the directions carefully so that if I'm asking you for definite articles, you're not putting in the indefinites. All right, but let's just practice really quickly. Let's pretend that the directions up here say complete with the correct form of un, una, unos, and unas. So I want you to try just like a little extra practice on your piece of paper on the side, or if you're filling this in when you printed it out, go ahead and do these same 4 sentences using the indefinite articles. Again, the 2 questions you want to ask yourself is number 1, what is the gender? And number 2, how many? How many things are they talking about? So go ahead and do all four. Okay, hopefully you did that on your own. It's extra practice. I'm going to give you the answers. The first one should be un hermano de Sally. The second one should be una escuela. The third one should be unas. And the last one should be unos. And again, the reason why I know these are the answers are because if you look at hermano, singular masculine. Escuela en bonita, singular feminine. Abuelas simpáticas, feminine plural. Muchachos graciosos, masculine plural. Okay, now let's keep going. This, as I've mentioned to you, is the hardest thing that you are going to do. Okay? Now, it says choose the correct form of the verb ser to complete each sentence. Don't get confused. All right? Let's get this clear. The subject pronouns is who the sentence is talking about. Is it I, you, he, she, we, or they? Those five. 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be really 6. I, you, he, she, we, and they. Yeah, 6. But in Spanish, you have a couple more. So you have the regular 6 that you do in English. I, you, he, she, we, and they. But in Spanish, you have 4 extra ones. You have, well, not 3 extra ones. This you that we use in English, in Spanish, it's really like if you were talking to a friend. Because we have an extra one that we use when you're talking to adults or you're being respectful. And it's the word usted. So we only use this when you're talking to one person and you're being respectful. This is the formal version. Then if you look over here at they, all right, they, we say you all or y'all. We say it all the time. You can say ustedes. This one is not formal. This one you could be talking about boys or girls. It's a group of people. Now again, just like with the definite and indefinite articles, we specify gender. So for he and she, you have gender, and then for they, you also have gender. For we, you also have gender. Okay? Now, the important thing out of this chart right here, the most that I want you to get out of this right here is that the subject pronouns are these right here. So whenever you see the word yo, it means I. Tú means you, like a friend. Él means he. Ella is she. Usted is you, talking to an adult. Nosotros is we. Nosotras is also we. Ellos is they. Ellas is they. Ustedes is y'all. And this one, I'm telling you right now, is not going to be on the summative. You're welcome. But this is just y'all and how when they use it in Spain. So we're not going to talk. I'm not even going to include it in the summative. I did want to teach it to you, but I'm not going to put it in the summative. So now, the directions don't tell us subject pronouns. The directions say choose the correct form of the verb ser to complete each sentence. So the reason why I have this chart here is so that you practice the pronouns. That way, when you look at a chart like this, you know what these words here on the left are. Not the bold ones, the ones on the left. Okay? Now, the ones in bold are the verbs. What this chart is showing you is how to say I am, you are, he is, she is, you is. Remember this, you is the formal one. We are, and they are. And then the Spain one, y'all are. Okay? I gave you some examples here. But the way you're going to do this is like this. You're going to see something very, very similar on the summative tomorrow. What you need to do is you need to read the sentence and figure out who they're talking about. For example, and this is why this is hard, take a look at number 11. Number 11 says, El alumno blank de Argentina. The student is from Argentina. Now, I said it in English. I gave you the answer in English. But if you look at it in Spanish, you have to pick one of these five. Now, how do you know which one it is? You have to kind of think about it a little bit. El alumno is the student. What kind of student is it? Look at the ending. Is it a masculine student or a feminine student? It's a masculine student. How many students? Just one, right? So, the student. The first thing you need to ask yourself is what subject is that? So, these are the subject, right? The subject pronouns. So, is el alumno the student? Would the student be I, you, he, she, we, or they? Think about it for a minute. The student. Is the student I, you, he, she, we, or they? Pausing point. The student should be he. All right, he. How do I know it's he? Because again, it's the student, but they tell us that the student is masculine and it's singular. When you look at this chart, if they're talking about one person, it's going to be this side of the chart. Ooh, sorry. This side of the chart. If they're talking about more than one person, this side of the chart. So that should break it up pretty easily. At least it should, at least minimize the options that you have. So you can make it a little easier for yourself. You might want to ask yourself, are they talking about one person or many or a group of people? If you ask yourself that first, you're already looking at one side of the chart. So you don't have as much to worry about. So, el alumno, the student, it would be he. So the verb that I need to use with he is es. So the answer is es. El alumno es de Argentina. The student is from Argentina. All right. Take a look at number 12. Ellas blank de Colombia. They, ellas, they. Now here, they give it to you straight up. Ellas. If you look at the chart, where is ellas? It's right here. So if you're trying to say they are, what word am I going to use in the sentence? They are from Colombia. Ellas is they. It's feminine plural. So I'm going to go, again, it's plural. So I'm going to go to this side of the chart. And I even see the word ellas. They, feminine, plural. The verb that goes with that one is son. So the answer should be son. Ellas son de Colombia. They are from Colombia. Okay? See if you can do number 13. Number 13 should be pretty easy. Yo blank de los Estados Unidos. See if you can do that one by yourself. Pausing point. That one should be yo soy. The answer should be soy. If you look at the word yo, and then you look at the chart, yo is over here. The verb that goes with yo is soy. Yo soy. De los Estados Unidos. I am from the United States. Number 14. See if you can do number 14. Number 14 is a little trickier only because they switched. It's a question, so they turned the sentence around. But you can still figure it out. See if you know any word in there that you see in the chart. The answer to this one should be eres. How do I know that? ¿De dónde? We talked about that one in exit ticket number 1. ¿De dónde? From where? From where are you? Look at this word at the end. Tú. Do you see it here in the chart? It's right there. Tú. What's the verb that goes with it? Eres. So eres goes right here. Where are you from? Okay. The last one, nosotros. Nosotros blank de la República Dominicana. We are from the Dominican Republic. Take a look at the chart. What is the verb or the form of the verb to be that goes with nosotros? We. If you said somos, you are correct. Somos. Nosotros somos de la República Dominicana. And that, my friends, is the end of the study guide. Okay? I know that this stuff can be a little tricky. That's why I'm going to have you guys play the game. All right? And make sure you, the game only like 5 to 10 minutes. Make sure you study for the summative tomorrow. All right? Best way to study for it is look at the study guides, practice the games a little bit, and then look at the lessons if you need to. If you have any questions, again, always reach out to me if you need to. I will be available. Other than that, have a great day y nos vemos mañana. Hasta luego, muchachos. Chao.